Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 3 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 13, also known as Rough Seas. And you can see right away why it's called that, because it's quite windy and Nate is such a manly man, so that doesn't deter him, and we jump into the water. And the reason for this is that the first part of this chapter, or this first fight, can be completely stealthed. And I will manage to do that somewhat. Because I lost track of one of the enemies and he spots me, so I'm gonna have to kill him the old-fashioned way by shooting him. And that is something quite interesting. When I shoot him, I use my Tau, the magnum pistol in this game. Hit him straight in the gut, you will see him grab his gut that he got hit, and for some reason he survives. And that lucky bastard is the one furthest from me right now, which I'm waiting for to look in another direction. Or he's having his back towards me. I think it was the closest guy I was looking for. But I waited a little bit too long to move over here, because he starts moving away from the edge. So we're gonna have to do the waiting game for a little bit to get him to repeat his patrol pattern and go back to where we were. And that is something, when you're trying to do the stealthy approach, sometimes you have to do the waiting game. No one likes to do it, but sometimes you have to. But fortunately, since it is quite a small platform he's walking on, he is heading back right now as I'm speaking. And I just want to keep an eye on the guy furthest from me, trying to see where he's heading so he's not facing this way before we move around the corner. But he walks away, and we can go up and break the neck of this guy. And as I said, that guy manages to disappear for a while, because he moved over to my right. So he's walking down that walkway over to the right. You can see him right there at the edge of the screen. But when I was recording this, I didn't see that. Because I'm sitting here, and I'm in the mindset that he should be to my left. So I'm looking around trying to see where he is. And to me, he had just vanished into thin air. But I wasn't quite sure. I thought maybe he has gone over to the right. I'm gonna check that out. So I'm gonna head into the water so I can get the drop on him. Because you are quite hidden when you're down here, and you climb up on these platforms from whichever side. And I thought that it was him, so I jump over here and I break the neck of this guy, and then I realize you will see him coming into... There he is. He was over there, sneaking around in the corner, and now look at this magnum shot. Straight in the gut. He flinched and survived. And I have no idea how he did that. He is not a heavy. All regular enemies should go down in one magnum bullet. Maybe it's because maybe I hit his lovely bandana yellow thingy. Maybe it's bulletproof. One of those special ones that you... I think they sell them at Walmart. Something like that. Very weird, at least, because the game should have detected that as a kill. So I'm not 100% pleased with how that planned out, or played out. And to trigger the next part of this fight, we're gonna lower this crane thingamabob and try to board that big boat out there. And a guy with an RPG will make that impossible. He will blow this little walkway up and almost take... Actually, I think on my recording run, the very first attempt I did at going across that platform, when he shot that RPG... And that is a scripted sequence. You go straight into that little cutscene where Nate jumps over the edge and into the water. But I think that killed me, actually. As I recall, I think I died once, because I know I edited it a little bit there to make it more fluent. And you shouldn't be able to die in a scripted event. That has actually happened to me also on my recording run of Uncharted 4. I've started recording that walkthrough right now. And happened to me on chapter, I think it's 16 or 17. There is a grenade flying out of a doorway. And it's a scripted event, there's nothing you can do about it. And it killed me on my first attempt at it. Really weird, but sometimes when games get those electronic hiccups, weird shit happens. And I've had some weird deaths in that game, and I've had some cheap deaths in that game as well. But I'm gonna talk a bit more about that during that walkthrough. And something to know about the Tau in this game. As you can see, it has a sniper sight. And when you're not using the sniper sight, you're using the regular sight, it gets that shotgun-like aim. So I recommend never fire it without using the sniper sight. Because it is quite a wide area and the bullet can go anywhere in that area. So if you're not shooting an enemy at point blank, don't use it. Try to use the sniper sight version, and you activate it by pressing, I think it's R3. Yeah, I think it's R3. So use the sniper sight when you're using the Magnum. And then we'll go into the third phase of this. I trimmed out a little cutscene and we can jump aboard this boat. And during this boat fight, I'm gonna apologize in advance because I have done a really weird cut in this video. And I don't know if I still have the raw video, so maybe I could have re-edited this, or at least checked out what it was I edited out. But you will see a transition in mid-gunfight. And what I think happened, I'm 99% sure this is what happened, is that a boat will come up on your side and more enemies will board the boat. The very second you get that boarding sequence, you will reach a checkpoint. And I know I died, and I think that when the game resets at the checkpoint, it will despawn the enemies on this boat. So it will look very weird, I apologize, I have no idea what I was thinking when I cut it like that. I guess I edited it that way because there was no other option. You see, right there? Extremely weird transition. But now I come to think about it, I know what happened. Because those guys jumped across and they killed me the very second they came over because I wasn't fast enough when trying to shoot the remaining enemies on my boat. And when the game restarted at checkpoint, that's what happened. Yeah, so that's true. That's why I cut it that way. I apologize, it looked shitty. And I don't think there are any more edits like that. But this has taken care of all the enemies on these boats. And now we're going into the last phase of this. And there are 3 more enemies coming out. So we introduce the first one to bullets to the face, a heavy shows up. And I have my trusty pistole, so we soften him up with the cal, or the AK. And then we finish him up with a buckshot shampoo at Nate's hairdressing and stylist. Now we just have one guy left, so we spray him, he goes down, and now we're gonna do some rocket launcher shooting. There is a rocket launcher right there on the wall, mounted next to, I think it's the fire extinguisher. No, it's a life buoy. Standard boat equipment. Life buoys and rocket launchers. And you have to fire at this big boat 3 times to blow it to hell, more or less. It's really easy, be a bit careful when you're aiming, the waves can troll you. But when you hit it the 3rd time, if you run out of RPGs, there are more to pick up. But when you hit it the 3rd time, it will blow up and it will end the chapter. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.